right mind thought, hey, let's just take something that somebody else did successfully and just make a shittier, watered down version of it.
That's a good point.
Like,
I haven't paid any attention to it, to be honest.
When I first heard about it, right? First off, the shit that set me off was Shane McMahon coming back, because I'm just like,
Yeah,
God,
I was like, why? Why is
Why?
that?
Hold on,
Why?
really quickly.
it's the best in the world. We don't need him right now.
Hold on. Wait a minute. Speaking of coming back, welcome to season 2 of the Second Turnbuckle podcast. I just be sneaking these cold opens in on you guys.
Yeah, it is. Got to hit him with it one time.
Hey, it keeps us on our toes.
Yeah, just got to find a way to stick that in there. We're back for season 2. This is our first official episode of season 2.
Still the champ, always the champ, and will remain the champ. You already know what it is. It's your boy, it's Feslo Dollars, coming in for the one time.
Hold on, so we're pre-recording episodes now, so we don't know if he'll be the champ by this episode goes live.
Well, it'll at least be out before SummerSlam, and the belt isn't on the line until SummerSlam. So
exactly. I will remain champ even after SummerSlam.
Okay, so 22nd of August. Hello, future. This is
Hello, future.
From the 8th.
The 8th dimension?
No, the 8th of August.
From the 8th. Oh, okay.
How's everybody doing?
I am doing lovely. In case listeners can't tell, I just got a brand new microphone yesterday, and according to you guys, it sounds great. So I can't wait to hear how it sounds.
Sounding real crispy.
It sounds impeccable.
Better than Bluetooth headphones?
Absolutely.
Or Bluetooth earbuds, even worse. And of course, I am the captain. I am the number one contender for the Golden Turnbuckle Championship. I don't even know what we're calling it. We've called it so many things over the last...
I think it's just the Golden Turnbuckle Championship at this point.
Yeah, pretty much. And the person who's going to dethrone Mr. Feslo Dollars.
Over my dead body.
That could be arranged.
Oh, that went dark real quick.
Jesus Christ. I'm just here trying to hold on to the belt.
I'm like Marty Jannetty out here confessing to murder.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that. Wait a minute. Hold on. No, we can't. No, we can't. Because I have not told everyone that this is the top guy. I'm not the champ. Right. I'm not the champ or the number one contender, but I am the guy. And that's something no one can take from me.
He's the guy who manages the guy.
Yeah, I'm the guy. I'm just the guy.
The guy.
Wait.
Just the guy.
This is second season, so I am the sponsor of the Second Turnbuckle podcast. I forgot about that for a second there. Took some time off and took some time off and forgot. I low key pay for everything here.
You gotta just wave it around sometimes. Let them know what it is.
Yeah. Boom. So moving forward into season 2, the Sock Monkey and the Dirty Quarter are banned from recording until I feel like bringing them back.
So that's an excellent choice.
I feel like I have to stay number one contender to stay relevant.
But you also got to keep your mouth shut if you want to stay relevant.
I mean, there's nobody.
I don't think I can do that.
There's
no podcast to record.
There's nobody else here to challenge. It's just us for a while, guys.
That's true.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened to Brian the Lion.
I don't either.
Man, just disappeared on us. But
yeah,
he'll be back.
Figure it out.
Sometimes lions just have to rest for a while.
Take a nap.
Yeah, take a nap. He's on a nap.
He's on a nap.
So we're just
that man was hanging out with Timon and Pumbaa.
Oh wow!
It got too wild out in the jungle.
Does that make me the warthog?
No,
oh, God.
Timon and Pumbaa will be Den and it's Sock Lesnar.
Sock Lesnar.
Oh my God, that really is what they are. They're the Lion King trio.
Oh
from
my
Lion
God.
King. Wait, from Lion King 1.5.
Oh, let's not discuss that movie.
It's in a chant like that.
Dude, stop. It's not.
Feslo Dollars now available for all your R&B vocals for any mixtape.
Oh my God.
Call me Steve from American Dad.
Oh,
Yo, that's what
God.
we got to do next. We got to come out with a mixtape, a second Turnbuckle podcast mixtape.
Hey, look, I guarantee you'll be fired.
It's going to be better than anything WWE is coming out with this week.
Ooh, shots fired.
Let's talk about the shit they've been shoveling through our TV screens. This is the 8th, so we're going to talk about Retribution and Raw Underground. Let's see if these things even make it to season 2, because Vince McMahon and his 3-week pushes.
By 2 weeks later, this could be completely obsolete.
Okay, so my thing. All right, let's start with Retribution, because that's probably the most interesting angle out of the two. But at the same time, it's just like, who are they really going to give us? It's going to be some no-name NXT people. It's going to be people they've shelved for the last however so months that dodged the exodus, the mass exodus of talent. They're not going to give us anything worthwhile until there's really no hype behind it. Oh, yeah, they destroyed some equipment, but what have what hype are they stirring up?
And my thing is, they did a lot worse than the Nexus did, so it's kind of like, oh, there was a chainsaw.
Yeah, a lot of people on Twitter yesterday, for anybody who, since it's August 8th, August 7th was SmackDown, and that is the SmackDown where Retribution tore the ring apart, kind of, at the end of the episode of SmackDown. And it really is just a worse version of what Nexus did. It really is. It was Nexus watered down.
So the only cool thing I thought about that whole thing is they beat up most of everyone at ringside.
Yeah.
Which, I would think that if you're outnumbered, people to ringside to the people in Retribution, even if they do have gimmicked weapons, the people in the audience should have been able to handle that.
Dude, what would be the saddest thing? Is if Retribution they just flop it and they just turn it into an angle where it's like Miz Morrison, Sonya Deville, and then somebody else. I feel like they're just gonna take the lazy route. They're gonna do the Vince McMahon explosion on us and then just give us some random people.
So I feel like
not do that.
They haven't.
Just minus terribleness.
I don't think they've thought it through enough. So I think they're kind of just going to see what the ratings do at this point.
They're going nowhere.
Honestly, I wouldn't be shocked.
So it's like, okay, do we commit to this? And then once they figure it out, it might be somebody big. But if they don't want to commit to it, it might not.
Right. See, and that's one of the things WWE drives me nuts, is because you can tell when they're just kind of throwing something into the water and hoping it sticks.
Throwing shit at the wall and hoping it sticks.
Yeah, exactly. You're aiming a dart at the dartboard and hoping it hits the bullseye, but midway through, if it looks like the trajectory is not going to go right, you just make it tank. It's so irritating, because if you stick, we've seen time and time again where if you stick an angle, it's either going to be really good or really bad. Whereas if you don't stick to an angle, it's just forgettable.
So I feel like if you were going to do this, why did we end Sanity?
Yeah.
Sanity was absolutely excellent.
Dude,
Sanity was great.
Sanity. They were legitimately interesting, and having Eric Young head that team was perfect for people that had any kind of experience with TNA or Impact and his psychotic character.
They failed Eric Young, but Eric Young is now making waves in Impact.
Wait, didn't Eric
even had a match yet?
No, he hasn't. Wait, he did. He was in. Wasn't he in that match?
He was in his return match.
The fifth
at a Slammiversary.
The 5-way for the title.
Okay. Yeah. And then he attacked Rich Swann.
Speaking of Rich Swann, Rich Swann is out here looking rough.
Yeah, man.
Hasn't he always looked rough?
He never looked this rough in WWE.
See, because that's the thing about Rich Swann. Rich Swann is like, my talent speaks for itself. If I look wild, then that's just gonna help my character.
Nah, bro. Rich Swann out here taco meat out. Dreads haven't been retouched in a couple of months.
He out here looking like a backyard Pusha T.
He has 8 long dreads and the rest are like little afro dreads. Rich Swann looks like a homeless man on an interview when he's cutting his promo.
To answer your question, Rich Swann, no, we cannot handle this.
Put it back in the closet. Try again.
It's really bad.
Yeah, he was attacked by Eric Young recently, actually.
Yeah,
if I remember right.
So on that episode is the one where he's looking like super rough, like again, homeless man on the interview.
Do you think it was a work?
It has to be a work.
Yeah.
That's what I think. His little retirement thing, but then he gets attacked by Eric Young. Why do it?
But here's the thing: Rich Swann isn't the guy, you know.
Right.
So if Rich Swann retires, he's probably not going to retire on TV. He'll probably retire at somebody's backyard wrestling event.
Oh, that's kind of savage. I would say be at an indie show.
Well, that is at this point that is an indie show because we can't hold events in venues anymore.
The actual event.
It's just gonna be streamed on Twitch.
Yeah, so it's gonna be like savage. Talking Shop-a-mania.
Yeah,
that was hilarious. Like Gallows and Anderson just consistently proving that they are some of the funniest people on the planet.
They are gold.
I'm so glad Sex Ferguson is back. I was tired of Tex Ferguson.
What?
It's Sex Ferguson.
So when
I am so confused.
So his Talking Shop character's name was Sex Ferguson. He had like this accent.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, okay. And so when he went to WWE and they did a what was that? It was like some sort of Southpaw Regional Wrestling.
Yeah, Southpaw.
Yeah, it was a parody on Southpaw. Yeah.
He was Tex Ferguson.
They should have kept that going. That was
so funny.
Things.
Chris Jericho was amazing in there, and so was
amazing in everything.
And so was Fandango.
Oh yeah, Fandango just being the drunk dog. Dude, I have expected him to go. My wife left me, and just
that would have been hilarious.
Back in his chair.
Oh my god,
he was like Orange Cassidying it for parody before Orange Cassidy was cool.
It was so good. That whole they only had 2 or 3 of those little skits.
I think it was 4 or 5.
It was 2 seasons. It was 2 seasons, I believe.
Was it?
Like for them, because like I roughly remember there being more than just like it was like one wave of episodes and then a second.
Okay.
Because like there was time off because like they were really trying to test the waters with it. But I need to know the mastermind behind that. Like who is the brilliant mind behind Southpaw Regional Wrestling?
Let me find. I got you.
All right, cool.
I'm already on Google looking at pictures of Rich Swann with taco meat. For those of you who don't know what taco meat is,
you have to explain it for him.
Are you gonna have to explain this?
Do you know what taco meat is?
I mean, are we talking mannerismically or
no? So here, taco meat is chest hair, but like when you have like the beady beats.
Oh, okay.
Beady beat.
And they all curl up on your chest, and it just looks like little things of taco meat, like the ground beef.
Oh my god!
See, so I did have to explain taco meat.
You did.
Well, they know. But you know what I don't know?
What don't you know?
Who the hell thought that All Elite Heels was a good idea?
Brandy Rhodes.
Yeah, Brandy Rhodes.
She disappeared like a magician.
She's been on Dark.
No, I mean like social media.
Her Twitter account.
Oh yeah, no, she deleted her Twitter.
Okay, to answer your question, Southpaw Regional Wrestling created by Brian Pellegato.
I have
no idea who that is.
Give that person more creative freedom.
No, I'm about to look him up.
Yeah. So what is the heels?
Hold on,
thing?
One at a time.
It's a subscription service.
One at a time, please. So it looks like he was senior vice president of production in WWE.
Senior vice president of production?
Yeah, I'm on his LinkedIn account right now.
I thought that title is. Oh, you know what? That's probably president of production.
Okay, so
Kevin Dunn.
Senior vice president, production. He's been doing that since March 2019. From 2015 to 2019, he was vice president of digital and social videos. And before that, he was director. And he was a senior digital producer at the start of his career. Before that, he worked as an associate producer for ESPN. So he's been
he jumped work.
Yeah, he made the jump from ESPN to.
I wonder if he came along with Coachman.
Probably, yeah.
Possibly, yeah.
Because I wonder if Coachman had a couple connections throughout the various departments at ESPN and was like, you need to get this guy, this guy, this guy.
I think so. It looks like he, Brian Pellegato. Hopefully I'm pronouncing his name right. He came in 2012, and I think Coachman came in a little bit later than that.
What happened to Coachman?
So it's probably the other way around. Coachman probably got him in.
I don't know what happened to Coachman. I think he's doing backstage stuff, isn't he?
Whatever he's doing, I'm sure he's enjoying a very nice paycheck at this point.
Oh, of course.
Any WWE paycheck is a nice paycheck.
Okay. So to answer your question, here is an article on our AllEliteWrestling.com. AEW Heels launches dynamic membership platform for female wrestling fans.
Okay.
All AEW Heels, a new female-focused wrestling community led by AEW's chief brand officer Brandy Rhodes and star of the AEW's women's division, today announced the launch of its new fan membership platform powered by Wonderful Union's secure digital platform. Female wrestling fans can seamlessly access AEW Heels exclusive content and other special benefits in a safe environment for engaging conversation and developing friendships worldwide.
So it's a subscription-based female chat room.
Oh, I was going to say it's bullshit.
Oh, wait, but wait, there's more.
Wow, okay.
But wait, there's more. With an annual paid subscription of $49, members receive an access to a variety of features, including virtual meet and greets, video conference discussions with industry experts, exclusive AEW talent Q&A sessions, customized merchandise, special promotion, themed parties, and more. And that's really what killed me, is the themed
So it's a marketing
parties.
tool.
It's AEW Cameo.
So it's a marketing tool.
Yes, but honestly, that would seem cool for I wouldn't even say wrestling fans, but independent wrestlers their first or second year.
Oh, absolutely! Like getting some tips on the business. It's
right.
Great for them, but it's mostly for fans. It's marketed towards fans.
And female wrestling fans. I think women who like wrestling have it really bad. And that sucks.
That's true.
Because this shit panders to them. I don't think they're looking to have shit just for them. And I get that you want to create a safe space for women wrestling fans that are or who identify as women. But I don't think that's what they want.
No, I think they just want to enjoy wrestling for what it is. I don't think anybody likes to be pandered to. Oh, absolutely not. But my thing is that AEW has this hard-on for pushing diversity. And my thing is that they talk about it so much, it detracts from what they're trying to do. And it's much better to just release these things. Like, all of this stuff that they're releasing right now, they should have had this from the jump. It should have been the first day thing. That way it's like, this is what we're doing. You know exactly what's going on. Let's get on to the wrestling. Right. And it's like, had they just thrown it all on the table at once, everybody would have shut up and they would have just watched. But because of the process of which they're taking, it draws it out, or it drags it out so far that people are starting to lose faith in them. And it's just, they question it. And of course you have AEW, or not AEW, I mean WWE fanboys who enjoy just making sure that nobody enjoys AEW's product. And it makes it an unenjoyable experience.
No, I totally agree.
I don't think that they're doing the wrong thing. Absolutely not. They're doing the best that they absolutely can. But the problem is that they just need to find another way to go about it.
So I feel maybe if it wasn't just women centered, we'd do a little bit better.
Yeah.
So I was actually having a conversation with my girlfriend a couple of days ago, and it was about it was about civil rights, not just for a certain type of people, but just in general, right? And the struggles minorities come up through with whatever the minority group is, and that the way to fix it is to where it is so normal that we don't have to have these kinds of like AEW heels, like where it is so normal to just have all people integrated together that these groups aren't necessary. If that makes any sense.
Yeah. That makes perfect sense.
And I think that's a role we should take. But also, it's kind of hard right now because I am of the opinion that the AEW women's division is awful. It is so poorly built.
It's subpar.
It is extraordinarily honestly, right now the WWE has a much better women's division.
Okay,
so always had a better women's
so let's
division.
talk about it. Let's talk about it. So we did our fantasy draft. If you haven't listened to that, go listen to that now.
Please.
Yes, please.
Absolutely.
It has absolutely one of the funniest moments, in my personal opinion, of this show.
Yeah.
Because of how absolutely stupid it is.
Yeah.
Please go watch it.
It's so funny.
I'm not even going to say it because I want you to go watch it. Just go
watch it. You guys will understand.
Listen. Go listen to it. Listen to it. Yeah. My apologies.
So, yeah.
Oh, yeah, we can't say watch. We can. Well, no, because I didn't put it on YouTube.
Yeah, so go listen. That is an Anchor exclusive.
Yes,
please go check it out. It's gold.
It is amazingly funny.
But so here, basically, what we did sort of an experiment to see how difficult running a roster would be, and it's going to be an ongoing experiment. You know, I think nobody's doing that right now just for shits and giggles. Even though everyone's starting a podcast, and it's so hard to find things that are made just for podcasting. And like doing live things now because of the coronavirus, because everybody's all of a sudden a creative.
I think they were always creative. They just never had the time because they were at work. And now that they're at home and they're closer to where their craft is, they're just showing their talents.
Right.
This is all the talents that people have, but the culture of America is, hey, let's work these people to death so that they can barely make enough to afford apartment rent.
Wow, you must have been in the room yesterday. Anyway, so we made our fantasy draft, and if you listen to my roster, you're gonna be like, hey, where's the women? Well, I mean, honestly, I left them out on purpose because we only had, I think my max roster right now is like 25 people.
Yeah,
and so
I mean that's your loss.
Yeah, is it my loss? Yeah, but I have like all the big names that have been booked wrongly that I can book better. But it's hard to kind of focus on everything. So when AEW came out and was like, we're going to have the best tag division in the world, I'm like, that's great, you know? I can watch your show just for really great tag wrestling.
Which, by the way, they do.
Yeah. I don't necessarily have to watch your show for women's wrestling.
I guess that is true.
And it's not like it's discriminatory. Like New Japan doesn't have a women's division either.
And that's the thing. Like can it be difficult booking women's wrestling? Absolutely. Like there's a whole how do
it's really not that hard. It's really not that hard to book a good women's division. You know how you do it? It's really simple. You book them the same way you book the men because they're wrestlers.
Yeah,
this is what they do.
So
you put the charismatic people. You put the charismatic people in the same booking.
Right.
Division.
You put the people who are clearly the most skilled in the top portion of your roster. Everybody makes it out to be like women's wrestling is just somehow different from men's wrestling. It's the exact same shit.
No, so I'm not saying it's different. I'm just saying there's not a lot of women's wrestlers. Like, okay, hear me out.
All right.
Let's say for every 3 men's wrestlers, you have 1 women's wrestler. Because it's
I would even
argue
that's a little high.
A little high? Okay. What would you say?
I say it's 1 to 1.
Or
I
a
would
little
absolutely
low.
say it's 1 to 1.
There's definitely more. Or okay, let's put it this way. I would stake to say that there are more prominent men's wrestlers than there are women's wrestlers. For a host of reasons.
No, I'm talking
why they're more prominent is because that's where they're being booked. If you book women in that position, they would clearly perform better.
Right.
No, it's like you can't say that because they're wrestlers like Candice LeRae who can clearly hold their own against men because they've had matches against men. They are amazing wrestlers, and you can't say that.
My brother, you're
going on a tangent.
You're missing the whole but y'all missing the whole point. I'm saying if you walk into a wrestling school right now, you're going to see a majority of men.
Right.
So I'm just saying, like, there's more male wrestlers than there are female wrestlers. And that's the same with African American wrestlers versus, say, Caucasian wrestlers.
Yeah.
And like I've heard Stone Cold argue this, which I clearly don't understand. But someone asked him, why aren't there more African American guys at the top? And he's just like, there's just not that many of them.
Yeah.
He's right.
He got a lot of flack for that, and I didn't understand. I mean, he was right.
He's right.
Yeah, I get that. And so when you walk into a wrestling school, just let's say you walk into are you familiar with Santino Bros?
Yes.
Let's say you walk into Santino Bros. That's the closest wrestling school that we have here. You walk in over there, you look at who's training. A bunch of men, maybe 2 or 3 women. And let's be honest. Out of all the people wrestling in Santino Bros right now, shout out to Santino Bros, by the way. We'll tag them in this episode. Out of all the people in there right now, maybe 2 or 3 might go on to wrestle in TNA, Impact, WWE, AEW, etc.
Well, yeah, because the cream always rises to the top. You got to get what's at the top of your ladder. Who are the best people? Who are clearly putting the most effort into this?
So and this is why I say that booking women's wrestling is a little bit more difficult because there's just not that many women's wrestlers. So it's like you walk.
I don't believe that because here's the thing. I don't think that's honestly the truth because when you're thinking about women's wrestlers, are you talking about subconsciously? Are you talking about women's wrestlers around the world or women's wrestlers in your area, locally in America? Because there is an entire women's division, entire show called Stardom in Japan that's all women's wrestling, and they're excellent.
I'm familiar. So maybe it has something to do with New Japan not having a women's division. So that leaves that leaves Stardom open to have an all women's promotion because there's no women's division in New Japan. Do you think Stardom would be as big if there was women's wrestling in New Japan?
Maybe.
I believe it will be their impact because Stardom, their owners, they clearly care about their craft. They care about their show. They care about their belts. They put prestige into their belts. No. Yeah, I absolutely believe they'll still be around.
Have you seen the Stardom women's title? That thing is gorgeous.
Brilliant.
So what I'm saying is there's a smaller percentage of women who want to be a professional wrestler than men. Can't argue that.
Yeah, I mean, you're right.
Yeah. And we are speaking kind of in generalizations because it's just what we see. I'm sure if somebody has data or something that will contradict what we say, feel free to go on Twitter and tag us and give us the information.
We need y'all to speak. If y'all listen and speak to us, we're here to talk to you.
But this is just what I see, and what I've seen. And so,
you know what? We can bring this up with Leo London. Shout out to Leo London when we have our interview.
Dude, I'm freaking excited for that.
And then we can also bring this up with our friends over at Wrestle Outpost.
That's true. We can absolutely do that. We can really talk. I kind of want to talk to them mainly about the AEW women's division, because short of Britt Baker and Big Swole, there is nobody in that division that's interesting right now.
You're right.
I mean, Hikaru Shida is champion and barely gets time on television. Like, Britt Baker, who is injured, gets more time on television than our current AEW Women's Champion.
But they're trying. I like what they're doing with Nyla Rose and Vicky Guerrero right now.
Right.
Which, by the way, I need to mention, she has officially signed with AEW.
Yeah, she has.
That's great.
So that is, yeah. I'm glad to see she's still working.
Well, I mean, she never stopped working. Like, she always had a job. But, like, it's cool when you can successful.
See her.
No. It's like not even that. It's cool when you can be successful in like a regular career.
Mm-hmm.
Come back to wrestling and be successful at that.
Dude, because like, you know what the enigma about Vicky Guerrero is? Hate hearing her, but we always love to see her.
It's true.
Because she's just brilliant every time she's on the screen.
She is like an underrated master of getting people to absolutely hate her guts.
Dude, that's Aunt Vicky, okay?
That's Aunt. She's invited to the cookout.
Vicky.
That's Aunt Vicky. She's always at the cookout. She was cooking at the cookout, okay?
Excuse me. But my point is, you have a school of 100 students. You have 75% students that are dudes, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then 25% that are women. And out of those 25%, only 10% of those, out of the whole 100%, only 10% make it to a national television company with a national television deal.
Mm-hmm.
That, like, the numbers are screwed, you know?
I mean, you can't have half of a woman, but that's 2.5.
That's just average, but like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let's say the 0.5 is a non-wrestling television personnel.
Right. Like they want to be backstage or they want to be in Aubrey Edwards.
Yeah. So they're a manager, commentator, referee, like some sort of non-wrestling television. Basically an NPC of a wrestling show.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the numbers are off. That's why I say it's difficult to book women's wrestling, because I'd rather book good women's wrestling and not have Jillian Hall getting a oatmeal cookie bit off the side of her face by the boogeyman, or all of the Diva Search.
And you know what? Yeah, I was about to bring up. I was about to say the Diva Search. Like, I think that illustrates your point perfectly. Is we had a very small circle of really talented women's wrestlers, but the large majority of them were just terrible. So booking a division around these like 3, 4, 5 really, really good wrestlers, the Litas, the Trish Stratuses, the what have you.
And real quick,
like only those people, you can't. I mean, you can build a division around those 5, but eventually you have to expand, or it's going to be overexposure and be boring.
And real quick, shameless plug: if you want to hear about more of that, please go listen to our worst of the 2010s.
Yeah,
as we go into detail about how awful the Diva Search and how awful Jillian Hall was.
Mm-hmm.
Please, if you want to hear us collectively lose our shit.
So
that is an accurate description.
So if everything was equal, it'd be very easy to book a women's division.
Right.
But those numbers are way off.
I think I get where you're coming from. I think I understand what you're trying to say.
So I'm not trying to say it's hard to do. I'm just trying to say it's less of them.
Right.
True.
I'm kind of having, like, because I like a lot of the AEW women. Like, I think Big Swole is going to be champion in like 2 months.
Oh, absolutely. 3. Absolutely.
So here's my issue.
Talented wrestler.
Here's my issue. Why are we pushing Brandy Rhodes like she's a decent wrestler?
Brandy should have remained a manager. Had she remained a manager, she would have been excellent. She could have been the next Vicky Guerrero. She could have been the next just excellent women's manager.
Mm-hmm.
Second question: Why is one of her finishing maneuvers a spear?
Yeah, I don't understand it.
Garbage.
It makes no sense because she's not exactly Nyla Rose.
A Nyla Rose spear would be amazing.
Oh my god!
I want to see her do like some kind of. You know what I want to see her do? I want to see her do a jackknife powerbomb.
Oh.
Can you imagine Nyla Rose doing a jackknife powerbomb just running through the division?
Nyla Rose is what happens if Nia Jax was actually good.
I was just about to say I want to see those two go at it.
I'm afraid for Nyla.
Watch her. I was about to say, watch her somehow fucking hurt Nyla Rose while we're at it.
Oh my goodness! I fear for Nyla's health.
Wait, so give me TNA Awesome Kong versus Nia Jax versus Nyla
Rose. All right, listen. If that happens, I know this is cliche, but if the ring doesn't break, I will have issues with that match.
Okay, so the ring needs to break, but here's how the ring.
They need to clash, and that ring needs to be destroyed.
Wait, give me a Tower of Doom spot.
Yes.
Yes. Oh my goodness, this is amazing. This is fantasy.
And bring in Jordan Grace while we're at it, because she's
yes.
So
we'll have a awesome badass big women's four-way, if you will.
Oh yeah.
So old school TNA is Awesome Kong. WWE is Nia Jax, aka New Jack.
Oh God. New Jack. It is the New Jack.
I don't think he's been on an episode when I call him that. New Jax, Nyla Rose and Jordan Grace. That'd be dope.
Yeah, it really would. I actually kind of want to see that match now, but that would require Nia Jax not being in WWE.
I mean, we can.
And I'm afraid that if she leaves WWE, she's not going to get any work.
Actually, no, I think she would because she has enough. Dude,
she's going to enjoy it. She's going to enjoy it.
But turn into a rap career?
No, she's going to get work. That's The Rock's cousin. That's The Rock's cousin.
Listen, if you aren't The Rock, does that really account for anything?
Yeah, no.
Unless you are his daughter, which I am excited to see her in the ring.
I'm not.
I'm excited. I want to see what she brings to the ring.
I'm not.
Why not? You need to explain that one.
So she's a second generation wrestler.
Okay.
Not all second generation wrestlers.
She's on
second generation.
She would be fourth.
Okay, fourth generation wrestler. Not all generational wrestlers are great.
That's very true.
So you're saying after third generation it just kind of falls off?
Isn't this the first fourth generation wrestler?
I'm sure there's more
that we don't know about.
There has to be more. With as long as wrestling has been around in its form, professional wrestling. I mean, it came from the circus show circuits.
Yeah, no,
and that's like the 1930s. There has to be more than one fourth generation wrestler
that we don't know about, or that we do.
I mean, nobody immediately springs to mind, but just in general, the existence of there's got to be somebody else.
Okay,
maybe not with the notoriety.
I'm going to say it's probably one of the Guerreros. I want to say somebody there has to be.
What about like Austin Gunn?
Would he be? Is Austin Gunn actually his son?
Yeah.
I think so. I would hope so.
But he's so small, though.
He's really not that small. He's just small because his dad is massive.
How tall is Austin Gunn?
Yeah, that's actually his son.
You found out, but you didn't find out the height?
And he's just he's 5'11".
Austin Gunn is 5'11", yeah.
And he's just a second generation wrestler.
So I'm 6'3".
I'm 6 even.
They have Billy Gunn slated as 6'3" here.
So you're as tall as Billy Gunn.
Okay, so list of fourth generation wrestlers. Curtis Axel.
Really? I thought he was third.
Owen Hart.
Yeah.
Oh, the Hearts.
Randy Savage.
No way.
Yeah, his dad was
apparently
wrestler.
Randy Savage.
No fucking way.
Mr. Perfect.
That
Well,
one.
I think
I read Mr. Perfect. I knew that one.
Jay Uso and Jimmy Uso.
Okay.
Oh yeah, the Samoan family.
Ted DiBiase Jr. Jeez, this list goes on.
Yeah, Ted DiBiase Jr. was a little.
I was right.
Trash.
Chavo Guerrero.
Yeah,
okay, hold on.
Shouldn't be.
Who, might add, is a very, very nice guy. I've met him. He's awesome.
Okay. Hold on, guys. Billy Gunn's first name is Monty.
Yes, it is.
Excuse me?
Yeah, it is. Have you never heard that before?
No.
Do you know what Seth Rollins' first name is?
I believe it was something ridiculous.
Colby.
Oh.
Colby.
That's such a Midwest name.
So, yes, so you're telling me that if you put Seth Rollins and Nia Jax in a team, there would be Colby Jax? We got Colby Jax.
Colby Jax hitting the ring.
We have Colby Jax and Sock Lesnar. Let's go.
Yes, dude. Colby Jax sounds like an actually amazing basketball name.
Or a very good cheese.
Yes, an excellent cheese.
It is a good cheese. It's really good for a grilled cheese because it's super melty and it has multiple different flavors. I want a grilled cheese now.
You played yourself.
So listen, guys, we're going to take a break and talk about Anchor real quick. But while we're doing that, why don't you head on over to our Twitter and tell us what your favorite combination of cheeses to use on a grilled cheese sandwich is.
Yes, do that for sure.
If you don't use pepper jack at least once in your life, I'm going to question you.
Like a good pepper jack and sharp cheddar combination.
Oh, am I going to do extra sharp cheddar?
Extra sharp cheddar and pepper jack cheese.
Oh God, Tillamook cheese is the best. Anyway, guys, you know what else is the best? Anchor. We're going to stop right here. We're going to stick an ad right here. And when we come back, who knows what we're going to talk about? Who knows? I don't.
Who knows? I don't either.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. All right, here's Anchor. All right, guys. So we talked about our big woman 4-way. What else would be a dope match that you want to see? Like, let's say if for one night only, all wrestling companies just let talent do whatever they want, and they all wrestled wherever they wanted. We think a good match would be.
I know we've already seen it, but I kind of want to see it again. Kenny Omega versus Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean,
let's redo that. That
John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt.
Huh?
Oh, okay. I thought you were doing John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt.
His name is my name too.
That was the funniest shit.
You wilding boy.
John Jacob
no, that was Daniel Bryan versus Kenny Omega.
Kenny Omega. You've never seen that video?
Triple threat with Seth Rollins when he was still Tyler Black in Ring of Honor.
Yeah, it's an amazing match. But if I'm getting any triple threat, it's going to be Kenny Omega versus Daniel Bryan versus Shinsuke Nakamura.
Oh, please.
I kind of want to see Ryback versus Michael Elgin since no one will book them anymore.
Well, Michael Elgin's never going to get booked because of sexual allegations.
He's too much baggage.
Yeah, sorry. That's never happening again.
And neither is the big guy.
Keith Lee versus everyone.
Yeah. I'd be okay with Keith Lee versus the world. It's going to be like
Keith Lee versus a broomstick.
Dude, it's
Keith Lee versus Tomohiro Ishii again.
Oh, yeah. Keith Lee and Ishii. That'd be good.
It'd be like one brick wall punching another brick wall until
Ishii has a victory over Kenny Omega.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah, in the G1 Climax.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
I think Ishii was his only loss that year.
That's no surprise to me. Ishii's amazing.
He had just beaten Okada for the title.
Damn. So he immediately wins the belt and then just loses a match.
Well, I think it was like a round 3 or something. I don't think it was the first round.
Okay. Fair enough.
But the G1 Climax is really long. Which I like, by the way.
But I mean, that's a decent person to lose to.
Yeah, I mean, Tomohiro Ishii is nobody to scoff at.
Yeah, it's not like he lost to Trent.
I'd be like,
Trent's good too, though.
Trent's good too.
Trent and Kenny Omega are some of my favorite matches in New Japan.
Mm-hmm.
Roppongi Vice and what's his name?
Who is Roppongi Vice?
Roppongi Vice was Trent and who was the other guy? Shit. Hold on, give me a minute.
Hey. And while he does that,
sorry about that dead air there.
When are we getting a stimulus check?
Okay. My thing about the stimulus check is that everybody's been asking for that as if we're ever going to get it under this administration.
We might.
It was Trent and Rocky Romero.
Okay.
Trent So, and by the way, Rocky Romero, I produced their entrance theme when they were in New Japan.
You did?
You produced it?
Rocky Romero.
Oh.
You did?
I thought you said I did.
Yeah, because I
was like, so you've been letting me do all of this for this podcast this whole time, and you're a music producer?
Rocky Romero produced Roppongi Vice's theme song. And they had some really good matches with the Young Bucks.
Oh, so we have an episode.
Gold.
We have an episode in season 2 in our What If series, which we'll start working on right after this. What if the Young Bucks never left TNA?
Obscurity.
Oh, if the Young Bucks never left TNA, I don't think they would fade into obscurity.
That's a lot harder question to answer, actually.
I believe that they would have left around the same time that Matt Hardy left, and they would have been taken up by WWE. Because you got to remember, Matt Hardy and the Young Bucks, absolute gold. And they got along usually when they first met, so it's like it would still happen.
Okay, let's pin that. Let's pin that because we could just immediately do a what if, but let's pin that.
Do you want to do that do you want to do that next?
Yes,
sure.
Absolutely. I want to do that next.
Okay,
sure.
Yeah, do that.
All right. You know what match I really want to see, even though, I mean, we've already seen it before, but just because I absolutely love both competitors, is Kushida and Will Ospreay.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we've seen, they've had a series of matches. They've had a Best of the Super Juniors match for the finals. If you've not seen that match.
I have. It's absolutely fantastic.
So good.
But it's like... saying Will Ospreay and fantastic match is like saying fire is hot, you know?
Yeah.
You know, I actually agree with... So Sheamus got a little heat for this a couple months ago. I don't know if you remember this, but the tweet where he was like, wrestling today is better now than it's ever been.
Facts.
And I absolutely agree.
It is. He's
it's not
right
even close. The storylines are worse. But the pure wrestling is...
the talent is unmatched.
Far superior.
And I made that... I make that claim to people who stop watching wrestling all the time. Like when people are like, wrestling isn't what it used to be. Actually, it's a lot better because, you know, people... Not only are people safer, but there's less drugs and injuries involved. No one's necessarily gunning for your spot like they used to. And...
Bingo.
Yeah, let's face it. The Rock wasn't the greatest in-ring worker.
He wasn't.
He really wasn't. He was an expert at giving the crowd what they wanted.
Like
he could work a crowd like no other.
Rock sharpshooter?
Nah.
Garbage.
It's not touching any of Bret Hart's.
Not even close.
It's not touching a Natalya Hart sharpshooter.
True.
You know?
Man, Natalya, I really need them to do more with Natalya. She's so good.
Underrated talent on the roster.
I want Natalya to go to either Stardom or AEW and light that division on fire.
She needs to be a world champion in a lot of other places. And Natalya left. If Natalya left WWE and went to AEW,
world champion.
AEW would have their star. They would have the person.
You know what I would want? I would want Natalya to come into the AEW women's division as a heel.
Oh, yeah.
And here's why.
Oh, wait a minute.
She can make the claim that the AEW women's division is awful. She can say, why is your champion given less time than me just coming in? And then she can just start dismantling all the problems that people have with the women's division.
Can I just stick something in there real quick?
Sure.
We get Natalya and Beth Phoenix?
Yes.
Yes. Please give me that.
That tag team was amazing.
Beth Phoenix and Nyla Rose. Oh.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Now I need that fatal 5-way. Now
we need Beth Phoenix involved.
So when is Jordan Grace going to AEW?
Hopefully soon.
It's bound to happen.
Listen, I know she's making waves or kind of in WWE, but you get Toni Storm in AEW.
Well, she ain't doing anything right now. She's stuck in England.
Yeah.
I know, but can we get her on AEW?
Yeah.
I feel like that is just a match made in heaven. She would have far more to do, and it's just WWE has this tendency to take the best superstars and then just completely ruin them by just doing nothing. Just leaving them out to dry.
Yeah.
And it doesn't make sense when these people can make you the most money if you just let them be them. Had they never given Roman Reigns suffering succotash, he would have been a star today. A much bigger star than what he is right now.
I'm about to say, is he not a star?
I mean, he is. I'm not going to say he's not, but you know what I mean. He would be more popular. The fans would actually sit behind him if you just let, the Samoan named Joe be the Samoan named Joe.
Yeah, I mean, he's a more interesting, and I think that's what's going to get Aleister Black over.
Aleister Black needs to be on Raw Underground. All the strikers in WWE need to be on Raw Underground.
They put that what is his name? Matumbo? Fasu?
They changed his name. Yeah.
What was his name before?
Mutumbe or something like that.
Mutumbe. He's not even African.
Another person that needs to be on. I was gonna say somebody and I literally just forgot who it was.
I thought we were supposed to talk. I thought we were supposed to talk about how garbage that is. MVP. But why isn't Bobby Lashley on Raw Underground?
I don't know.
Yeah, dude. Imagine if Brock Lesnar was on Raw Underground.
Well, then nobody would win, or nobody would lose.
It'd be Lesnar Underground.
Yeah. Lesnar Underground. Nobody shows up. The show ends.
There'd be no need for Raw Underground. You would just have Lesnar do everything.
Lesnar just shows up and everybody quits.
Yeah, I'm going home.
It's I'm going to AEW. They don't treat me like this.
Wouldn't you?
Yeah, I'd absolutely go home.
I'm good. Did you see what he did to Frank Mir? I'm good.
As he put it, he had a horseshoe up his ass and he pulled him out and beat him over the head with it.
Oh no!
I'm good. I don't want that, Lesnar. You can have Raw Underground.
After they already so they do this after they let Cain Velasquez go.
Yeah.
Cain Velasquez was the biggest waste of time.
Absolutely.
But what happened? What really happened?
But he got paid. His name was Babatunde.
Babatunde. It was something. I mean, we were never going to get it, but it was something.
Yeah. Is his real name
Babatunde?
Back to Raw Underground. Well, what was today?
His real name is Babatunde.
His real name is Babatunde?
Polish mother, Nigerian father. That makes sense.
All right.
Interesting. Well, going back to Raw Underground, I don't know how long does this storyline go for before people get tired of it?
3 weeks.
Yeah,
I'd give it a solid month.
Just shy of 3 weeks.
Is that it doesn't seem like there is any end goal to it. It doesn't it just seems they threw it out there.
So I love how they bring back Shane McMahon and then the AEW brings back Eric Bischoff.
Oh yeah, do you see that?
What is up with the MJF?
AEW just one-upped WWE.
Okay, so for Chase, MJF is doing a quote-unquote presidential campaign, if you will. And so he's making it out that Jon Moxley is this evil dictator and MJF is the good democratic president coming in to overthrow the regime.
And he's facing Moxley, right?
Not yet. The match has still yet to be announced, but it's going to happen soon.
So what happens if MJF actually wins the belt?
I want it to happen.
Could you imagine?
That's going to be great.
I think he should, because we're approaching 200 days.
I think somebody might actually assault him in the street.
That's what good wrestling would.
But that's what a good heel should be. Yeah.
I feel like somebody's going to assault that man in the street if he wins that belt.
He should, though. Honestly, we're approaching 200 days with Jon Moxley as champion, and having a mix-up in the title picture would be a good thing.
Yeah, this is only the second AEW title. So, you can't really say it's done nothing because they're really still trying to flesh out their main event scene
that's true.
now.
Yeah.
Although, you know what? I actually don't think MJF should be the next champion. I think it should be Adam Page.
I don't think Adam Page needs to be champion right now.
No? Well, okay.
I think Kenny Omega, hold on. I need to express this one. I think Kenny Omega needs to become champion next. And Hangman Page needs to take it off of him.
I disagree.
Okay, so
how?
So we
how
can,
is that not brilliant?
Guys, we can go on for this for hours. Tell us who you think the next AEW champion, world heavyweight champion should be. I'm gonna go with Shawn Spears, but you know, I could be wrong. Listen, I just want to see him do something before he retires.
Stan?
Shawn Spears?
Stan?
Yes, Stan.
What has Stan done?
Oh my God.
Anyway,
I just kicked Stan.
We're gonna end on that note. Thank you for listening to the first episode of season 2 of the Second Turnbuckle podcast. Again, we are still trying to survive 2020. We're almost there, guys. Please wear a mask and don't be a dick. Thank you guys for listening.
You just finished listening to another fantastic episode of the Second Turnbuckle Wrestling Podcast. If you liked what you heard, go ahead and give us a follow on Anchor and favorite the podcast so you'll have an in-app notification when we upload. We are everywhere that you can listen to podcasts, including Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and Spotify. Anchor does it all for us so you guys get the content you want as quick as can be, with episodes like our review of Undertaker's The Last Ride, which don't end up on YouTube, Anchor exclusive. We upload to podcast distributions a day before YouTube. If you're listening on YouTube, go ahead and give us a subscribe and turn on all notifications so you don't miss a single upload. Follow us on Twitter at OG_STP, everything capital, on Instagram at OGSTP, everything lowercase, and on Facebook, just search the Second Turnbuckle Wrestling Podcast, and we'll be there for anything you may want to discuss on social media. Thanks you guys for listening. This is Captain, signing off.